Welcome to the first ever Siren Podcast. I am so excited because we launched this media network of ours. We're calling the Siren 2 days ago. Thank you very much. It has been the work of the better part of a year. And I'm incredibly excited because we really want to build out more of a left and progressive presence out there in the social media ecosystem, because we have been beaten in this field for far too long. And one of the problems I think exists is that the people on our side who have been doing great work are doing it very siloed, and they're not working together, and they're not talking to each other. And I think that can be solved in many ways. I would say that the three beautiful souls that I'm joined with today, that they are people that I love very much to work with, to collaborate with. Tara and I actually do collaborate on a weekly show. We actually have 2 episodes every single week. So I just want to start with thanking all of you for being here. I want to have conversations. I want us all to have conversations with each other and with the people at home watching and listening. But it definitely starts with showing up, and so you have, and thank you. So that brings me to my introductions. Tara Setmayer is on my left. You know Tara as the co-founder with my friend Michelle Kinney of the Seneca project, but also author of Uncompromised on Substack. Welcome, Tara. In the middle, we've got Harry Dunn, who really needs no introduction. The 6 degrees of separation of Harry Dunn. Harry's also on Substack with Standing Our Ground, and you can find his book, Standing My Ground, out there. Welcome to Harry. And then, of course, we have my friend Majid Padelin, who I call Brooklyn. You can call him BDD. I also call him that, Brooklyn Dad Defiant, who is everywhere, but on Substack with Defiant Dispatches. Welcome to the first ever Siren Podcast, my friends.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, congratulations to you.
It's very exciting. We're going to get into some of the, hopefully why the Siren is going to be different. But again, let's start with why the Siren Podcast is different. And that starts with conversations. And what I hope is that every person who comes on here will bring something that they want to talk about and introduce it to the group, like sharing in a kindergarten, but cooler and smarter. So that's the goal. And so I asked you guys to think of something you wanted to talk about and talk to these other folks about. So Tara, do you want to kick it off?
Sure. And also to echo Harry, very proud of you. Congrats on finally launching. I've watched you work so hard to get to this point. So I'm thrilled, proud to be here with you on your debut episode, and you're gonna kill it as you always do. So, there's just been so much going on, and it's hard to pick just one thing.
Yeah.
But since you were so gracious in introducing me and what we do at Seneca Project, many who don't know, who may be new to what we do there, we started as a women-focused organization last year, Galvanize Women, Save Democracy, and obviously the results of the election weren't what we hoped. So we expanded our mission beyond just fighting for women's rights, but focusing more on the democracy side, and because everything else at this point is secondary. If we don't shore up our constitutional republic, then nothing else matters. Everything else pretty much is irrelevant. So we are women-led, and my co-founder Michelle Kinney and we are a content organization. We're a messaging organization. So we have been screaming from the rooftops since the election that the midterm started immediately, that there is no time to just wait around for, the next cycle, we need to regroup. No, the other side never stops. MAGA never stops. How do I know? Because I used to be a Republican. I was a Republican for 27 years. I was a political communications person on the other side. I know how this works, and I know how important it is to make sure that you constantly have to be in the fight. So for us at Seneca, we've been putting out content, trying our best. We're a small upstart organization. We've only been in existence for a little over a year. We funded it ourselves, and then we had the gracious, generosity of small dollar donors. We don't have $6-figure, $1 million, donors sending us money. Far from it, actually. It's only been the generosity of the small dollar donors and every average folks that are pissed off about what's going on and willing to support us because we're fighters. And all of us here are fighters. And I've known Harry for many years. I'm just being introduced to Brooklyn Dad Defiant. But I've been following his work for a long time, as well as you, Joe. We're all fighters and we understand what's at stake. So all of the content that we've put out is to fill the void where the Democratic Party can't seem to get itself together. We're rooting for you, but there is clearly a void that needs to be filled, which is what we're all doing here. So and I encourage folks to go to senecaproject.us to check out our content and what we do. We have a YouTube channel as well. But we have been putting out lately some more counter messaging to what Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are trying to do with the big, beautiful bill. We're like, stop calling it that, okay? There's nothing beautiful about anything in here. This thing is a total betrayal of the American people, a total betrayal of Donald Trump's own people. All the people that decided to vote for him because of the price of eggs or whatever other bullshit they claim they voted for him for, okay. How is anything he's doing helping you? Are your lives better? No, they're not. So we put out something called the Big Beautiful Betrayal to troll Donald Trump and J.D. Vance every time they go to a swing state to counter message so that people can hear it. Because the Democrats still haven't managed to figure out a way to do this. So we're like, well, we'll put our little resources together and we'll do it. So we started that, and it's going to be part of a series here of ways that we're going to troll Trump and expose the truth about what's happening. So the next part of that, we have just put out a brand new ad called Cheater, because we're just sick and tired of Donald Trump constantly cheating in everything. And what kind of gave us this idea was the latest nonsense with him cheating in golf again and how that all, and we're just like, this is just part of a pattern. It's who he is. He cheats at everything, and he's cheating the American people every freaking day. And enough is enough. We're going to keep calling him out on it, and he hates it. He hates when you needle him about things that he's cheating, because he doesn't like to look in the mirror for all the reasons. So we have this new ad out called Cheater, where we're airing it at Bedminster, on the Golf Channel, and also on Fox and Friends, because we want him to see it. But we also want to scale that up. So, because everybody needs to be reminded. I think we've become so desensitized to all of his bullshit and how he constantly every word out of his mouth is a lie. He's a lying liar who lies constantly. And the Epstein episode is exposing how he can't keep his own lies straight. And it's now become an existential threat to his whole presidency, because even his own people are like, the MAGA math ain't math in here. You told us you had the files. They were on the desk. You were going to release them. You were going to have this big exposure thing. And then all of a sudden it went away when you had the bitch Twitter fight with Elon Musk, who called your ass out and said, oh, by the way, you're in the Epstein files. Yeah. Ever since then, it has been nutso. And rightfully so, because look, if what they say is true, then expose the people behind this god-awful global sex trafficking ring and all of these people, because there are hundreds, if not thousands, of survivors of the Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell sexual child sex trafficking ring, and they've had to endure this for decades. So let's prosecute and go after the people who perpetrated this, not protect them. So Donald Trump is even cheating in this because he's trying to obfuscate and lie about what's happening and call it a hoax. Now it's a hoax. Well, no, wait, Obama did it. No, wait, the Democrats. No, it's a hoax. Like, which is it? Yeah. So we are focused on trying to make sure that people are constantly reminded of what a terrible lying bastard Donald Trump is, and that the next person he's going to try to cheat is you. Don't let him.
Amen to that. We're going to run that ad at the end of the show. The Seneca Project, guys, if you're not following or joining with them, they make the best political content there is. And the greatest political ad of all time was called American Girl. I will just say that. But you're right. And
there's my Webby. There's the Webby for it.
Yeah.
Well
Webby for America.
Well deserved, well earned.
I mean, and he cheated to try and undo an election he lost, which ended up in our friend Harry and his friends and colleagues at the Capitol being attacked by American citizens, one of which is in the DOJ, who was screaming, kill cops or something like that. But he cheated then too.
Well, I think that's good. That's a good transition to Harry because I mean, right on over to you, Mr. Dunn.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, like what you just mentioned, Joe. What you're talking about is his name is Jared Wise. Jared Wise was at the Capitol on January 6th, and unfortunately, he didn't get to go to trial. He did his initial arraignment where he pled not guilty, but he didn't get to go to trial. So a lot of his actions on that day were not known to the public. The people didn't know what happened. I believe the story was broken by NPR, where they put in a request and they got DC police officers' body cam footage. And only now is the statements coming out that what he says, where he was at the Capitol saying, kill them all. He was calling us the Gestapo police. He would call us Nazis. And he was urging people that were in the middle of attacking police officers, he was urging them to kill them all. His words, direct quotes. So that's not associated with propaganda or hearsay. Those are his words obtained by DC police officers' body cam footage. Now, a lot of people were there that day screaming those things. They were trying to act on them. The problem with Jared Weiss is he is now serving as a senior advisor in the Department of Justice. So this only goes to further, well, not only is it a slap in the face and everything like that, but it just goes to further show that their attempted not even whitewashing anymore. It's attempted removal and erasal of everything that happened that day and everything that happened afterwards. Like the pardons just weren't about, hey, doing something nice for those voters. Anything that Donald Trump does, anything that he does is only about him. So pardoning those people had nothing to do with, hey, these guys are nice, they deserved it. It goes to show that Donald Trump wants his name to not live in infamy, which unfortunately it will always do that as long as there are truth tellers out there like everybody on this panel right here. Donald Trump will be remembered for exactly who he is, not who he is trying to portray to be. So I'm really upset about that. But you know what? I won't say numb. I'm not numb to this, but we got to remember we're coming this January. This upcoming January, it'll be 5 years. So this has been a long time with just a gripe to carry, scars, visible and non-visible scars to carry. It's been a long time, and victims deserve closure. And whether it's January 6th, whether it's Epstein, whether it's 9/11, whether it's you name it, victims deserve justice. And we keep moving further and further away from not getting justice. But that's why I'm so glad to be in. I don't want to say it's not even an echo chamber. I like being surrounded by people like you all, because I will say I do kind of run in echo chambers because I don't have the ability, the patience, or the mindset to talk to or engage with anybody that sees January 6th for anything less than what it was. I don't have that ability. So I'm glad that you all sometimes go back and forth with those. Y'all get on them. Y'all tear them y'all tear them new ones. I don't engage at all. I don't want any. You don't deserve any of my time. You don't deserve any of my peace. So I'm glad that we have people out there that are willing to have those fights, those debates. And Tara, shout out to you, Brooklyn. You man, all three of y'all be getting at it when y'all, and I just love just watching it, and it's a beautiful thing to see. But what I do like to do is go out there across the country and talk to the people who are affected. Last week I was in Omaha, in Nebraska, and I also went across the bridge to Council Bluffs in Iowa, and I gave some town halls out there, and I did some talking. And in fact, the Republican mayor of the town in Council Bluffs came out to hear me speak. Wow. And it was it was receptive, it was warm. And I'll tell you one thing, I don't go out there and gaslight people and, say, hey guys, we're going to get through this, Like I try to give messages of hope, but mainly of resilience. No matter how bad things are. And I'm not one of them people say, it could be so much worse. No, bad is bad. I don't care. Like we don't we're not trying to. We don't want to pile on it until it is worse.
Correct.
Like let's fix it before. But I just try to give
worse,
message
it's
of
too late.
if it's worse, it's too late. Exactly.
Right.
But I will say, I don't go out there and tell people we're going to get through this, guys. Just keep on fighting. Everything's going to be fine. I don't know. And I'm not even trying to stoke fears and stoke the flames of fear and fear monger. No, I'm not trying to do that. But I will say that if we don't do anything, we don't have a chance at all.
That's right.
So it's like we already quit. We were talking about fantasy football and football and baseball before the show started.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you don't select a roster, you're not going to win.
Right.
Like if you don't do anything, there's no chance you'll win.
Yeah.
Who knows? Their best player could get hurt or something may happen. But we have to give ourselves a chance. And that's why I'm fighting so hard for 2026 coming up. Because everybody says, what can we do? What can we do? Well, the only way to stop Donald Trump right in this moment right now is in 2026 by controlling one chamber of that building on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
That's how we stop Donald Trump. And a lot of people are upset and frustrated and angry with the way things are going. So we have to make sure that they show up. And this is your opportunity to do it. And that's what I'm fighting hard to do.
I love it. And I just realized listening to you and Tara is that there's a thread in this conversation that is this cheating idea, because they're cheating the American people of the truth.
Yep.
They're cheating the American people of the truth of January 6th, of what happened with Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's involvement there. They're going to be cheating us of accurate labor numbers, and all of that's coming. They're cheating us of our access to Medicaid, Medicare, et cetera. But
now the elections, right? With what they're doing in Texas and the redistricting.
Exactly. Which brings me to Brooklyn, because I mean, this is this crazy thread, but this is the world we live in. We're talking about a guy who cheated on his first wife with his second, cheated on his second wife with his third, cheated on his third wife with a playmate and a playboy, right, with a friggin' porn star. But Brooklyn's topic today has to do with what's happening in Texas, where, shocker of all shockers, the Republicans are trying to cheat. Because to Harry's point, they know that the math does not look good for them for the midterms if they play by the rules and they don't fuck up their maps and take the mostly black and people of color Congress people out of their seats and redraw their districts, so that they get 5 Republican seats now. That will help them win when they know they're not going to win in the midterms, because they suck so badly right now. But yeah, Brooklyn, that's your topic. You see, it's amazing how these all tie together.
I didn't even know that, by the way. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's Joe. That is a perfect segue. The whole cheating theme, and Tara, I can't wait to see your ad, because I think that will actually be effective. Before I jump into the whole Texas Democrats and the redistricting issue, gerrymandering issue, for a moment last year during Kamala Harris's campaign, we touched on a theme that was attacking them with the word weird. And it was so effective, and I don't know why we dropped it so quickly, but it was effective because it was regular. It was something that people could access in their brain. They know what weird looks like, you know.
And it's them.
And and unfortunately, we dropped that attack line. But let me tell you something else. America is a sports nation. Like it or not, it is what it is. And what Harry was talking about with the fantasy football, a lot of people are playing fantasy football, and people are baseball fans and basketball and all these different sports, and people do not like cheating.
Correct.
So I really hope that your ad campaign starts a spark. And the spark that I'm seeing right now from the Democratic Party is not insignificant. It's serious. Like, we've seen it sporadically here and there. We've seen Cory Booker give a speech on the floor of on the Senate floor for 25 hours, I think it was. It was remarkable. We've seen great speeches from our leaders in Congress. But right now, here is a serious fight in Texas where the entire Democratic body up and left Texas. It's not unprecedented. I think it's happened before, but it's rare.
Yep.
It's very rare. And what happened is that Trump and Republicans, they did They did America wrong, but they did their base wrong with that big, ugly bill. They did them so wrong that they don't feel secure in a red state, a reliably red state like Texas, to play it straight. You guys already have what's the word I'm looking for? A
Supermajority.
A super majority in Texas. But now you want to cheat? What the hell is this? And so what I love from this is Democrats were like, let's go, let's bounce. And they all left. And what made it perfect was that J.B. Pritzker is like a super rich dude who has like hotels.
Yeah,
so he's like,
Hilton,
I'm gonna put you up
They own the
here.
Hilton Hotel.
Hilton's, yeah.
And so he's supporting their effort to stand and fight against this thing. And I think it is critical for the Democratic Party to take this page and run with it. California, New York, Illinois, every state where we possibly can. And you know what? I don't like the idea of this. And Democrats as a whole, we prefer to play it straight, to play by the rules. We've been playing by the rules frankly, for too long. It took us too long to realize that while we're playing by the rules, no hitting below the belt, no gouging the eyes. Republicans threw the rule book out a long time ago, and they've been gouging the eyes, kicking in the groin, all that stuff. Forget it. No more rules. Let's go. Fight fire with fire. And the time is now. And the time, and we have to be consistent. We have to tell our base to support this and make sure that because Democrats will start off good sometimes, and then we're like, then we start, looking inside and saying, maybe we should be fair. No.
Well, can I ask you a question then, Joe? If I can, let me ask Tara and Brooklyn a question real quick, because a lot of people have said that. Hey, you know what? Republicans don't care about the rules. So at what point, Democrats have, most of them I know, have moral compasses. We care about what's right. We care about doing the right thing. We believe in karma. We believe that, hey, you know what? The everything's going to work out for those that deserve it. And at what point and how the people that struggle with, and maybe that's why Democrats aren't fighting back in the way that we want them to, because they don't want to abandon their moral compass, because we know, hey, you know what? I don't care if they're doing it, kicking below the belt is wrong. So how do we overcome that? Because it's a moral compass. This isn't about Republicans. This is about how do I live with myself? I can't stoop to their level. How do we overcome that?
Well, I can tell you that because as someone who used to be a Republican but didn't do those awful things, right? I actually believed in what the principles were of being a conservative, but never would go to stoop to the dark art tactics of some of the really horrible things that Republicans would do, which is partially why I'm not a Republican anymore, because it became an unrecognizable party for me, and all principles went out the window. And I said, I'm done. I mean, I try to change things from within. I was always a never Trump Republican. I wasn't someone who was like, well, let me give him a chance. No, I'm from Jersey. I know Donald Trump and what a scumbag liar he is. And so for me, from the very beginning, it was a no-brainer. I was like, come on, there's no way that the pocket-waving constitutional Republicans are going to accept this guy. He's anathema to everything we claim to believe in. And well, how wrong was I? But there's something I always tell people is never become what you despise. And there's a fine line here with that, but not everybody is cut out for the political guerrilla warfare that we are engaged in. This is political guerrilla warfare. This isn't wiffle ball. You can't bring a wiffle ball bat to a political guerrilla warfare fight. You just can't. You know what else you can't bring? You can't bring a policy paper this thick with, numbers about trillions of this and the percentages of that to a political gunfight. You just can't. So there are people, there's a place for that, right? In some fights, policy may be what is necessary, but you got to keep it simple. The American people have a very short attention span. That's why, remember Vine, when it was only 6-second videos, right? And it blew up because people love And unfortunately, our brains now are so used to just very easy, quick things, quick and dirty, and you're on to the next. That's what's part of the success of Donald Trump and the propaganda side of the machine of the right. It's they say it early, often, and simply.
Yeah.
Democrats just need to learn how to do that and be grittier with it. You don't have to be immoral.
Yeah.
No
Right.
one's asking, because you know what? There is enough on our side because we are right. We are on the right side of history. We are on the right side of democracy. We are on the right side of morality. But sometimes you have to do it in a way, like, you know, I joke about Hakeem Jeffries because Joe knows my husband's from Brooklyn, okay? And like, you know, I'm from Jersey, as I said, but you know, I'm like, Hakeem Jeffries needs to be more Brooklyn. Like, you know, not so much Shakespeare in the Park. Be Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you just can't be so careful and couching your words all the time. Just be honest. Talk to people
Come
the
from
way
the
we
gut.
talk to each other.
Yeah.
That's what you do. So no one's asking anyone to be amoral, you know,
Right.
or immoral, because that's a different thing. But you got to be a little grittier and not so cautious and so afraid to offend or whatever. You just have to be, as we would say, as the kids would say, 100.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
that's why Jasmine Crockett has been so so successful recently, because she does come from the gut.
Right.
You know, and she's extremely intelligent, highly articulate,
Yeah.
but she is not trying to dress up her words or anything. She is saying it how she feels it and how it is. And people feel that.
resonates.
People appreciate
It resonates.
And I'll-
Realness resonates.
I'll say this to kind of wrap this up, because we've got a couple of folks who have MSNBC hits. That's how the fancy folks do it, not like me.
Nobody fancy.
I wouldn't have missed this for the
No, I'm
world.
talking
No.
about, but it's ironic. It's not ironic. I don't even know what the word is, but this kismet, serendipitous, whatever it is, because Harry, I think one of the answers incorporates what Tara just said and what Brooklyn just said perfectly. We have this opportunity right now for the Democrats to show, within their rights, by the way, that they have some fire. And what is the simplest way to get the American people to understand what those Democrats are doing? Those Republicans are cheating. They are cheating.
That's right.
The
Yeah.
word cheating. They're trying to cheat
Yeah.
you. They're trying to
That's
cheat the
right.
American people. They still walk away with the high ground. They still walk away, you know, as the party with morals, with decency, with integrity, and they look like the heroes because they're
Right.
standing up against those who want to take your voice away from you. And so it
Yeah.
looks like they are fighting fire with fire, but still within the bounds of what is allowed and what is,
Yes.
and that's the difference. But like, it's interesting. There's an intersection of
Yes.
all of this right
You
now.
know what? It's like a good analogy is like the struggle that Superman has. Right? I'm a comic book person. I love Marvel and Superman. My husband does too. I'm more Marvel than DC, but that's okay. But even though I love Wonder Woman, who I wanted to be when I was 6.
Yes, yes.
But it's if you know the arc of the Superman story, and I mean like the Christopher Nolan versions. I didn't like the new Superman movie that came out. Maybe I'm in the minority here.
No,
I didn't
you
like
know
the new
we're
version.
aligned on
Yeah,
that one.
Joe and I were
Yeah.
aligned on that. I didn't like it, but the Christopher Nolan
liked it.
Superman,
I liked
Man of
it.
Steel. I just love that so much because it shows the arc of his character struggle with trying to do the right thing, right? He has all of this strength and he has all of this, you know, but he has a heart for humanity. He could be as bad as his Krypton, you know,
Yeah.
guys that come in there and do those things, but he chose to do good with the power that he has and limited himself in order to do it where he needed to and still won. So there, you don't have to, and that's kind of always like the moral of the story for these complicated like superhero characters, even with Avengers. You know, like the struggle between Captain America and Iron Man, and like, you know what I mean, like that Civil War, one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah.
That struggle of what do we do here, and how do we do it? Like they have that. It's like the theme through the whole movie.
Absolutely.
And Captain America finds a way
Yeah.
to do that. And I think that's the way we have to approach it, because we're like formed like Voltron, and I'm showing my age. I'm a Gen Xer. But like you form like Voltron. Everybody has a part to play. And so some people aren't going to be the brawlers. Some people are going to be the folks that are the writers, the intellectuals that can bring those arguments. And then you have the other people be the brawlers. Like I always joke about us, Seneca. I say we're the Navy SEALs. We're the chicks that go in with precision. We're precision messaging killers. We'll take that fight. We'll stand in the breach for those who can't or won't, but we'll still fight for you.
Yeah.
And then you know what? That is contagious. Courage is contagious.
Very.
Yeah, it is.
And so when people say, oh, you know what? I can do it too. And next thing you know, you've built a freaking resistance. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what we're doing right now. Because
Yeah.
if you look at even going to Star Wars, I'm doing all the culture things here. I grew up with all of this.
Me too.
But you look at Star Wars, who made up the resistance?
Right.
You look at Handmaid's Tale, who made up Mayday in the resistance?
Mm-hmm.
They were average folks that they range from average everyday people, from the stable boys to the doctors and lawyers, right? You know, because when you're fighting an evil empire like we are, it affects everybody at every level. Nobody is safe.
Right.
Even the uber rich aren't if
No.
you're not on that side.
That's
So
right.
everybody has to pick up a weapon
Hell
in
yeah.
some way. And whatever that weapon is for you, doesn't necessarily have to be a real weapon, a proverbial weapon. Everybody has something to contribute to it, and everybody plays a role.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. You know how much I admire you. And this is, I'm going to just kind of close with this because what Tara said is so important. And it's very largely the reason why the Siren exists, because there are a lot of people out there who feel like they don't have something to say in this fight, that nobody cares, that they don't have a voice, that they don't matter, who's going to pay attention to what they have to say. And I get that, right? But you go out there, we go out there, all four of us go out there every day and we say what we have to say, and every day you reach someone. And every person out there listening to this has the same capacity to reach someone. And I can tell you that because Tara exists, because Tara Setmayer was on my TV, on CNN, just giving it right back to them day after day after day, holding on to her integrity as a human being, a Republican at one time, but ultimately a human being first. And she was just like throat punching, and I was just like, God damn it, she's amazing, and she's out there fighting a good fight, and everything is landing and resonating with me. Maybe I have something to say. And then I went to Twitter and I was like, well, I'm going to find my people over here. And then I started talking, and then maybe there's people out there, I don't know, I'm assuming maybe one out of the couple million people who like what I do or moved into action, but like none of us necessarily asked for this fight. None of us wanted, right, this fight, this moment. I mean, Harry, of all of us, you certainly did not want to be here. And I wish that we knew each other for a billion other reasons. But
too.
it's how you meet the moment. And all of you, all three of you, have met this moment and then some. And you're inspiring people out there who are watching, who are listening to everything you do, everything you say, reading everything you write. You're inspiring them to be that next person who can show up for somebody else. And that's how we build the resistance, Tara. Exactly to your point. And I'm so fucking proud. Sorry, Julie's dad. That's a reference Tara understands.
Yes, over
I'm
it.
so
We're over
fucking
it,
proud to be to know you guys and to be able to have these conversations with you guys, to listen to your insights and your perspective. And this was a really hopeful conversation in the weirdest way.
It is hopeful because it shows, like as you just said, that all of us come from different worlds, different angles, different perspectives, and we've all been brought together to use the light of what we're doing to inspire others and to shine that light onto other people and hope that we can help turn that fear and that outrage into action, because that's the only way things change. And it's not easy, and it's going to be tough, and it has been. All of us have been through it in different ways. And it's like, but we're still here.
Yeah.
And so because it's worth fighting for, this country and what we're doing and what this country was supposed to stand for is still worth fighting for. And if not now, then when? And if not us, then who?
Exactly. I say this all the time, and I didn't come up with it. It's certainly not mine to claim, but it resonates with me. And the only way out is through, and the only way through is together. And that's why these conversations, I hope this is the first of many. These conversations are a way for me to keep going, but also hopefully a way for people out there to feel inspired to keep going and to show up too.
Yes.
So Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much to all three of you. Tara Setmayer, Harry Dunn, Majid Padalan. Thank you guys. Have an amazing day and go kill it on MSNBC.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Donald Trump is a cheater.
He cheats.
He cheats at golf.
He cheats like a mafia accountant.
He cheats on his wives.
On every wife he ever had.
He tries to cheat elections.
11,780 votes.
He cheats working people.
Small business people say they were stiff.
He cheats his supporters.
A scam to line his pockets.
Guess who he's cheating next? Look in the mirror. It's you.